The earth is much changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. That which once was is lost. It began in the courts of heaven, when 1/3 of the angelic host were caught up and cast with the Dark Lord to the earth. And the woman was beguiled by the Dark Lord, and out of anguish for his flesh, the man did fall.
For with lying and all deceit was bound the strength and will to govern each race. But they were all of them deceived, kind of darkness and the fires of hate the Dark Lord Satan forged. In secret his master plan. None keep poured his cruelty, his malice and his will, to decimate all life on earth. With deep hatred, he would lay claim to rule them all.
The world truly has changed. The world I knew as a child, and then as a young man raising my own family, no longer exists. It's unrecognizable. The darkness is rapidly gathering, an unstoppable evil racing towards its own destruction.
The good news is in Luke chapter 21, verse 34. Jesus said, "And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting, and drunkenness, and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares." The good news.
Jesus wanted his followers to be awake, and he gave signs and wonders and foretold what would happen just prior to his return. If you are a Christian who is awake, not woke, you can't help but notice the conflict of the ages seems to be reaching a critical mass. We are all witnessing not only the loss of life due to various natural and transportational disasters, but also societal collapse due to desensitization and extreme polarization fueled by meta-modern philosophies, which is nihilistic in nature. Nihilism rejects absolute truth, morality which is based on the Bible, or inalienable consequences. Nihilism views human existence as meaningless, dismisses the historic moral codes as baseless, and advocates for the dismantling of established institutions and norms. This is the result of Darwinianism, regarding man as just a mere beast and not made in the express image of God, and it removes the Almighty from society. Sure, you can take the easy road and turn this into a Republican versus Democrat issue, but the reality is that the societal decline just before the end of the world has been foretold by all biblical prophets. And I hate to disappoint you, but there's going to be no making America great again. The Bible is clear on the rapid decline and its unavoidable results. As a Christian, this should not only come as not a surprise, and it should not make you sad. If your eyes are wide open and you're in the Word daily, you know that as it was in the days of Noah, so will it be just before the coming of the Son of Man. So how was it in Noah's and Lot's time? Violence filled the land. People were consumed with obtaining worldly possessions. Gluttony, entertainment were more important than being spiritually nourished. Mental illness and degeneracy were prevalent, and sexual deviancy and the destruction of the God-established gender binary was put forward as normal and even made part of worship. In fact, in Lot's day, the goddess Inanna, who later became Ishtar and also known as the Queen of Heaven, had a cult dedicated to her worship, in which the cult members and the priests were known for their androgyny and blurring or destroying traditional gender binary through transvestitism and non-binary self-identification. Sounding familiar? The abominations of the antediluvians and those on the plains near Sodom and Gomorrah reached up to heaven, and God had to destroy them to preserve righteousness. The worldwide destruction of the floodwaters that reached as high as Mount Evans and the fire and brimstone that consumed Sodom and Gomorrah are precursors to the entire earth's final destruction by fire. Satan knows that he's on a collision course with destiny, and he's running out of time. His frenetic pace is quickening, and he's determined to take as many of us with him as he possibly can. My brothers and sisters, wake up. Have your lamps trimmed and burning with your hands firmly grasped on the gospel plow. Pray for the latter rain to be poured out on you. Pray for the courage and the strength to stand the test. The King is coming. You will either meet him in warmth and joy, or ask for the rocks and the hills to fall on you. The choice is yours.
This has been a special presentation of Harvest with your host, Dr. Michael John Cookenmaster. Thanks for watching. You may watch Harvest two ways. On YouTube, be sure to subscribe at Harvest Ministries, or on Facebook through Dr. Cookenmaster's page. Be sure to like, comment, and share. See you next time.